Hell yeah! What's up, everybody? Peter Gilmore here for another video right here on Killer O Demon 669. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and share this video all over the internet. And subscribe to my other channels. Links down below in the description box. Alright, on this late Wednesday night, it is time for your late, well, it's not out of date yet, but it's time for your late night TNA Impact Wrestling review for September the 10th, 2014, and was the next last taping from New York, because next week is No Surrender, which will be the last show from the New York City tapings, and then the week after that, we'll see the tapings from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, because they're going to be taped next week. Not next week, the week after that, you know what I mean. The September 24th shows going forward, going to go into and out of Bound for Glory, which sucks, but what are you going to do? And it sucks that the Bound for Glory series got canceled, but what are you going to do? It was better that they had it off, I don't know. That was just me. So, Impact tonight was... It was a little less, powerful than the last few weeks. But it was still a decent show. Probably par for the course. It starts off with Sergeant Chris Melendez. He comes out and he gets a full color guard treatment along with the national anthem. And he got introduced by Jeremy Borass. And then Mike Tenay makes a reference to the 9/11 attack, because 9/11 is tomorrow, the 3rd-year anniversary of that tragic day in U.S. history. I remember it well. I'm not going to talk about it. He says Melendez entered to some rock song that sounded part national anthem, part Sweet Child of Mine. Really? I gotta hear that. So he comes to the ring, and, blah, blah, blah. And then he's taking on DJ Zema Ion in his debut match. So, the entrance I gave 2 out of 5 stars. It was just okay. So we get to the match. Chris Melendez taking on DJ Zema Ion. This match was, I guess it was okay. It was okay. It was standard par for the course. Melendez looked clumsy. Well, that's what happens when you're a one-legged wrestler, getting the Zach Gowen treatment, basically. He had we didn't have a prosthetic leg. He had the basically the same thing. He had like a robotic leg and, everything. So he looked kind of clumsy, doing some chain wrestling, getting the ring rust off. But he hit a nice looking neck breaker as DJ Z rolled to the outside. Then he panders to the crowd, but DJ Z ran in and hit a chop block to his prosthetic leg. Oh, that's not good. Well, it hurt your arm, too. So Melendez then comes back, hits a side slam. He gets a 2 count. And then DJ Z fires back with some strikes, but Melendez shoved him into the ropes. Then he hits a Samoan drop for the win. Not the best finisher, but it was effective. So, Sergeant Chris Melendez gets his first win in TNA, and hopefully many more, so we'll see what happens. So I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then Mike Tenay plugs the Tag Team Gauntlet main event between the Wolves, the Hardys, and Team 3D, match number 2, their Tag Team title series. And I'm hearing things. I think my house is haunted. Well, whatever. Anyway. So, what's the thing? So, he hypes the Tag Team main event. And then, everybody's favorite wrestler and soon-to-be World Heavyweight Champion, Bobby Roode, comes to the ring for a promo. So he talks about how great he feels, and he speaks about his opportunity at the TNA title next week. Well, it's going to be next week at No Surrender, and how ready he feels to reclaim the title for the 2nd time, and I hope he does. Then he puts over Eric Young, saying that he always brought out the best in him, whether they were opponents or partners, and said he would always consider him a world champion. Well, he's the Daniel Bryan of TNA, so what do you expect? Then then he starts on about his match against Lashley coming up next week. But then Lashley's music hits, and he comes out with Kenny King and MVP, otherwise known as MLK. Then MVP, makes an analogy from an action movie and tells Bobby Roode that there will be no happy moment where the hero wins at the end of his story. Then he calls Lashley Darth Vader. Luke, I'm your father. And there will be no happy ending for him. Then MVP says the best that Bobby Roode can hope for is a short hospital stay. And then Bobby Roode. If you get bored of me saying Bobby Roode, suck my dick. That's all I gotta say about that. So Bobby Roode then retorted and said that the only difference between MVP and Lashley is that MVP has fear and doubt all over his face, and Lashley has none. Then he says Lashley knows that he can beat him, and he knows that Lashley knows that he can beat him, and he knows that Bobby Roode can beat him too. So he then turned to MVP and said that there was nothing he could do about it. So MVP then tells him that, you're wrong there, and then he takes a swing at him, and then it's a 3-on-1 for about 10 seconds, and then Samoa Joe and Eric Young make the save. And then Samoa Joe, he gets all pissed, like, how about we have a 6-man tag right now? So the heel's like, okay, let's do it. Let's kick some ass. So the segment was pretty decent. I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get to match number 2. Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young taking on MLK. This match was pretty decent. Joe started off the match. He dove to the outside, took all 3 heels out. Then he started out the match with Kenny King, and he dominated. Kenny King then came back with a nice kick. He hung up Joe on the ropes to get in on the offense. Typical cheating. But then Joe got out of the way of a springboard attempt and tagged in Eric Young. And him and Eric Young get into it. Kenny King got the advantage. He tags an MVP. And then Eric Young uses his speed to hit a belly-to-belly for a 2 count. Then he walked into a clothesline in the corner, and Lashley then came in and basically beat the crap out of Eric Young for a while. Lashley then tried for an armbar. Then he pivoted into a triangle choke, a la The Undertaker. Then Eric Young used his strength. I don't know how much this guy deadlifts. I can't believe he picked up Lashley. I mean, this guy is tough as nails, and he's strong. That really impressed me. So he picks him up and hits a powerbomb. Then he tags in Bobby Roode, and MVP comes in, and Bobby Roode cleans house on all 3 heels. Then he hits the blockbuster from the top, sends Kenny King crashing to the floor because Kenny King sucks. And then Joe clears Lashley off the ring, and then Bobby Roode hits the Roode bomb. Oh, I got my voice high on that. On MVP, and he pins him for the 3 count. So Bobby Roode gets momentum going into his big title match next week with Lashley at No Surrender. Will he be a 2-time champ? We'll have to see. So I gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go backstage. We see Brittany, who I haven't seen in a few weeks, walk up to Gunner and ask if Sam Shaw is seeing anybody. So I guess Sam Shaw and Brittany are going to get into a little relationship type thing. So Gunner says, well, I'll pass along that you asked about him. So, whatever. Then we see the beautiful people in the bromance making an entrance together. And then the menagerie with Rebel come out, Crazy Steve. And Nux come out. So I gave the segment, that whole thing, 2 out of 5 stars. So we get the match number 3. The bromance and Velvet Sky and Angel Love at ringside. Taking on the menagerie. This match was boring. I didn't like this. I mean, I don't know, this whole thing between the bromance and Angel Love and Velvet Sky. I mean, are they kind of going out? I mean, that's the storyline. I mean, they're not really going out together, though I don't know what Jesse Goddard and Angel Love are doing. I don't know if they're an item or it's just part of the storyline. Because I know Robbie E is going out with Brooke Tessmacher. That's been a while, so Tessmacher should go out with my good friend Boston Fan 79. But that's just me. So, like I said, this match was kind of boring. Crazy Steve freaked out Robbie E. Because Robbie E hates clowns. So Jesse gets tagged in. He got the better of him. So he bailed and tagged out to Nux. And then Crazy Steve tagged back in. He was isolated for a while. And then Rebel got tagged in. And so Velvet had to enter because there's no women on men violence in TNA, which fucking sucks. So, I'm just saying. Then they did a spot where Crazy Steve kissed Velvet Sky, and Velvet's like, because Velvet, as we all know, Velvet loves when she kisses me. She gets wet in her panties. Yes. Oh, Bully Ray might come to my house now and beat me up. Yeah, whatever. So Rebel comes in, she hits a body slam, she climbs up to the top rope, looks for Christy Hemi's top rope move where she grabs the leg and then she hits that leg drop on the top rope. But Angelina comes in, interferes, and kept Rebel from hitting it. And then Velvet hit a schoolgirl and used the tights, and we all saw Rebel's thong, even though it was kind of underneath the leggings or whatever it was. But it was good, nice to look at. But it was kind of a boring pin, so I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. It was kind of boring. Alright, then we see Kurt Angle shown backstage, and he said he was tired of EC3 trying to tell him how to do his job, and he said he would ask EC3 to join him in the ring, so he could tell him who to wrestle and when, and he didn't think he was going to like it. So, we all know who it's going to be, because when EC3 he was feuding with, we all know who it is! So I gave the segment 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we see Team 3D cut a promo about winning their tables match. About they were going to win the tables match in the main event to win their 24th tag team title. Oh my brother! Testify! We'll see if that happens. They're up 1-0 and the first of 2 wins gets the title. So we'll see what happens. Alright, then we see Kurt Angle in the ring, and he's proud of the direction of TNA as of late. It's been pretty good the last couple of weeks, I have to say. And he's been especially proud of what they've done since they came to New York. Excuse me, I think I gotta text from Steam. I have to get this done quick, because, Lewis is coming, so I gotta get done. So, he says he's been proud of what they've done since they came to New York, and it's been great the last couple months. He said one wrestler has been a malcontent, though, and he wanted him to come out, so he gets EC3 to come out, so he makes his entrance. Kurt says if he knew what had happened, he reminded everyone that his aunt was put through a table, and he demanded that everyone be held accountable for what happened. That's what EC3 said, and that he would dish out vigilant justice until his demands were met. So EC3 then reminds Kurt that he took him out not once, but twice, and would do it again if in a heartbeat. So Kurt's like, well, I didn't forget that, and when the time is right, I'm going to kick your ass. But I'm the executive, I'm the director of operations, and you're a wrestler, and I'm going to send you home right now. But I'm going to be a fair man. I'm going to book you in a match tonight. A street fight against this man! So Rhino comes out, and we have match number 4. And this match was okay. They used some trash cans, chairs, and basically that was it. Nothing too hardcore. Rhino goes for the gore, but EC3 moved and sent Rhino to the trash can. Then EC3 hits a knee lift, followed by the Wombat Center on the steel chair for the win. So it sucks that he wins, but I don't think this feud's far from over. But I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we see a Chris Melendez pre-tape promo where he essentially says that talks about not giving up and being an inspiration to people with disabilities, and then his patriotic music played in the background. So I'm like, wait a minute, is this a Cena promo? Not giving up? But it was an okay promo, so I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Then we go to Jerry Borass in the ring, and he's trying to attempt to announce who would be the Knockouts champion, but Angelina Love's like, well, we all know who the winner is. It's me! And then JB just grabs the mic. I'm like, oh, wait a minute here. Then he announces that Velvet Sky's on the cover. We've seen it, like, the last 2 weeks. We already know. So Velvet's like, I can't believe I won. And then Jessica Havoc comes out, beats the living crap out of Gail Kim because she met her on the ramp, and then she gets on the apron, and Brittany's looking at her like and then the beautiful people like pushed her right into Jessica Havoc. She gets a choke slam from hell onto her, and then she takes the Knockouts title and just leaves. So, that's a big way to, I'm loving this debut from Jessica Havoc. I love it. So I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, there we see James Storm at his compound, and he has Maddox tied to a 4x4 post and tells him that his disciples are going to speak for him. Then he begins to take off Maddox's mask, and we all know who's under there, TJ Perkins. But he tells the cameras to go away. So I guess maybe next week we'll see the new improved Manic, or maybe we'll just see TJ Perkins next week. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then we see footage of Lashley being shown winning Bellator. Whoop-de-damn-do! So then we see Gail Kim hunting down Havoc backstage. But before that we get to match number 5, Tajiri and Austin Aries taking on James Storm and the Great Sonata. This match was okay. Aries avoided the eyes of Storm, hits a discus forearm, and then Tajiri comes in, he hits a nice back elbow, then he hit a nasty looking hook kick, then he tried to lock in the tarantula on James Storm, but he applied it, excuse me. Then Sonata tries for the miss, but Tajiri ducked it, knocked in the tarantula on him, and then Storm broke it up with a beer spit into his face, and he was blinded. Sonata followed up with a stiff super kick to get the win. It was okay. The match was okay. But nice to see the jury for 1 week, and he's gone back to Japan. That's it. So I gave the match 3 out of 5 stars. So then the Hardys cut a promo about their history in tables matches and said they would get one step closer to the tag team titles. So we'll see what happens from there. Then we see Gail Kim and Havoc brawling backstage, and it leads to the ring, and Havoc gets the better of it. They were separated by security, but Jessica Havoc just obliterated security, pulled her away. She threw one into the ramp, onto the ramp, and then chokeslammed the other on the floor. Holy shit! I mean, I guess this match is going to happen at No Surrender for the Knockouts title. I gave this segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. I think Jessica Havoc is going to win the Knockouts title next week. It is just about a given right now, and I love it. Because she was former WSU Women's Champion, and she had a long reign. So, looks like, she's going to win. A lot of people are saying that she's the next she's like a reinvented Karma, Awesome Kong. I don't think so. I don't think so. So we got to the main event, Team 3D versus the Hardys versus the Rules in a table match. This match was freaking amazing, just like their match last week. We'll get to near the end. There was a spot where Eddie came off the ropes and he tried to hit, I think, Matt Hardy, but he broke half the table. So they put Matt Hardy on the table and they tried to go for the double stomp, but the Team 3D stopped it. Then he did a nice double dive that slashed all 4 other competitors at ringside. Jeff Hardy sets up a table with the legs up, suspended between the apron and the ring stairs. The table got partially broken, like I mentioned. And then Team 3D broke up an attempt to put Matt Hardy through the table, like I mentioned again. Then he got sent to ringside. Then Matt put Eddie on top of a table at ringside, and Jeff hits the Swanton Bomb for the win. So they get their first win. So it's 1 win for Team 3D, 1 win for the Hardys, no wins for the Tag Team Champions. And next week at No Surrender, in the 3rd match, it is a ladder match, which I'm predicting, and it most likely is going to be the Wolves winning. So I think at the first taping of the Bethlehem, Pennsylvania tapings, we'll have the eventual winner of the tag team titles. But then again, who knows who's going to win? Because the Hardys are masters of the ladder match. So are the Wolves. I mean, we've seen the Wolves in Ladder War 1 against, Ladder War 2, against Generico and Steen. If you haven't seen that match, you need to watch it, because it's fucking amazing. So I gave the match 3.5 out of 5 stars. Impact tonight, pretty par for the course, so I gave it 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment or a video reply down below. And that's pretty much it. So, thank you all for watching. I will have my Q&A on Friday. Tomorrow, I'm having a big, humongous rant on my Peter Gilmore backup channel. So, check that out. But for right now, I'm Peter Gilmore. I'm signing off, and that's it. So a little shorter video than usual, but didn't have much to say about the show. But it was a good show, so we'll see what happens at No Surrender next week. So thank you all for watching. Share this video all over the internet. Smash that like button to death. Subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.